Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going in balls deep. We're gonna be investigating. We're going back to the roots of Cronusmax. This device that you're looking at allegedly is being used by Faze, Swagg, Nadia, Call of Duty YouTubers to cheat in Call of Duty. And I want to know like how it works, what it does. I want to be learning and growing. Drop a thumbs up and let's check it out.
To be discussing and demystifying the Cronusmax, aka the supposed device that Call of Duty YouTubers are using to cheat and get gameplay. And I wanted to do this video as sort of like a follow-up video to the previous one I made on this topic to go just a little bit more in depth on what the Cronusmax is and what it actually does and is capable of doing. Now, the reason being is I feel there is a lot of misinformation about this particular device, so I wanted to take some time to sort of clear the air and basically explain what this device does and essentially how it works.
Bro, back in my days, we didn't have any of this technology, bro. Back in my days, people would put just a red dot in the middle of the screen and that was basically it. Nowadays, everybody got like foot pedals. I mean, goddamn, what are you guys doing, man? Like gaming. But some people use foot pedals to actually, you know, toggle on to talk or however you say that. So understandable, but I mean, damn.
So big disclaimer before we get started is that I do not condone cheating in multiplayer games, and this video is not intended to promote the use of cheating devices or mods. This is purely for educational purposes, and I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
Also, I did want to try to emulate some visual examples of how certain mods can be used to cheat in Call of Duty, but I'm pretty sure that doing so would technically be a violation of Activision terms of service because it's technically cheating and exploiting, and I could be wrong, but I really just don't want to take that chance. So if you want to,
I mean, if you show even for educational purpose, they will take it down. So yeah, it's good that you don't do that. Yeah.
Visual examples of everything I'm talking about in this video. Literally all you have to do is go to YouTube and search Cronusmax anti-recoil or Cronusmax aim assist, and you will see tons and tons and tons of videos showing comparisons, tutorials, examples.
Social media was a mistake, bro. Social media, it was a mistake. Everybody can just Google it and get everything within seconds. I mean, damn, man. But it also has a lot of benefits though, so in a way it's not a mistake, but it's a mistake. You're wrong because you're a man
and whatnot. So feel free to go down that rabbit hole if you want. But the purpose of this video is really just to set the record straight and explain what these devices are capable of and what they are not capable of doing. So, first off, what is the Cronusmax? Well, simply put, it is a USB modding device that connects between your gaming controller or keyboard and mouse and to your gaming console or PC. So here's a visual example of what that looks like. Now, the Cronusmax has a lot of very practical...
Bro, even if the aliens came to planet Earth and looked at it, they would be baffled. They would be like, yo, what the hell is that? We cannot even find that on our planet. I mean, damn.
Uses, but it sort of gets a bad rap for being known as a cheating device, and we'll talk more about that here in a bit. But some of the more practical uses...
What? You're saying the plot twist that it could be something else and not cheating? All right, let's see.
Are number one, utilizing third-party controllers for crossplay on console. So let's say you want to use a PS4 controller with the Xbox One. The Cronusmax lets you do that pretty much seamlessly. Same with steering wheels, DDR mats, really whatever controller or input method that you want to use, the Cronusmax will let you do that. Now, keyboard and mouse support for console is another use for the Cronusmax, and it does so in a way where the console thinks you're using a controller, but in reality you are using a keyboard and mouse, so it's a bit sneaky. Another big one is before there was actual USB support for communication on the PS4, like a wired controller connection. Pros were using
there are so many loopholes. It's like it didn't exist back in my days. I'll just say that, bruh.
Cronusmax at tournaments to play on a wired connection because PS4s were freaking out about having so many Bluetooth controllers in one room. So that's the story on that. Next is button remapping and macros. So let's say you're playing a fighting game and you want to do a combo move. Well, instead of actually performing that combo move yourself, you can just simply map that combo or button sequence to one button and it makes it easier. And lastly are the mods and scripts. This is probably the most interesting one, but...
Hey, plot twist coming up, boys. And listen, man, this is where it truly goes down. This is where I'm assuming he's gonna go balls deep. Got Battlefield 3, one of my favorite games of all time, 110%, and smash the like button for Valeria's out there looking all kind of cute and shit.
But a couple examples of mods and scripts specifically for Call of Duty are number one, anti-recoil mod, and I would say this is probably the most practical of any mod for Call of Duty games, but it basically allows the Cronusmax to automatically pull down on your right thumbstick when you're firing your weapon to help counter recoil with weapons. There's also variations of this mod that are more useful for sniper.
At this point, bro, like, you install that, you put that on your controller, it will know, like, how many kids you're gonna have in the future, right? Like, how long you're gonna live. It's gonna probably know what was the last time you done Easter eggs. Is your girl preg or not? It's like the Facebook algorithm, man. I mean, y'all need to wake up, okay? Y'all need to wake up. The algorithm stuff, man, the Cronusmax, I mean, damn, man. It's demonic, it's devil. They created the devil itself. I mean, damn, son.
Like you hold your breath as soon as you aim, which is sort of like a button macro. And then there's aim assist mod, which I would say isn't really practical for Call of Duty because Call of Duty already has aim assist on console. But basically how it works,
it probably means it's gonna have more. It's gonna double it, triple it, quadruple it, or some shiza like that, bro.
It creates artificial ADS slowdown and idle sway control whenever you are aiming down sight. Last but not least is going to be jitter mod, or rapid fire mod is what it's called. But essentially, the way it works is it utilizes a button sequence or button spamming sequence to make semi-auto weapons shoot quicker or have like rapid fire functions. And these exploits usually get patched relatively quickly by developers. If you haven't seen this before, just go to YouTube and search jitter mod.
Wrong. The only thing that gets patched nowadays is basically the money glitches. Money, my friend. The money glitches and DMZ, the XP glitches. Those are completely harmless, but they are harmful, I guess, to their money shop, the microtransaction, the devil shop, the $20 for every single bundle. Are you guys out of your goddamn mind? I can go down to China, I can buy it for 2 cents, bro. If it was $1, then understandable, but $20 for one skin. If I tell my parents I'm gonna be homeless tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna be homeless because that type of shit didn't exist back in the days. I cannot even compute that. I cannot even compute. They can nerf all of the glitches, but you're telling me they cannot do that? They never do that. Wrong. This is why there are cheaters, streamers cheating 24/7 and not getting caught with their pants down. They're getting caught with their pants down in public eye, but they're not gonna get banned or not gonna be sent to Activision heaven because they get the free pass. Know what I'm saying?
And you'll get about 10 pages of what this looks like, but it's really popular and it's probably the most prominent use for the Cronusmax if you're going to be modding, essentially. So a couple points from this are that the Cronusmax isn't just used for cheating and exploiting. There are practical uses for this, especially for people who either have disabilities or have missing fingers or just don't want to use a certain controller on console. So I probably wouldn't go as far to say that if you own one of these devices that you are a cheater. It really just depends on what you're using it for and what the circumstance is, I guess, is the best way to explain.
Okay, I'm learning and growing, strong, independent. But okay, now he has a good point, right? He's making a good point. If this is true, because this is my first video watching like about the Cronusmax, like I'm trying to learn like what this device is, right? If that's true what he's saying, then okay. I mean, surely people that are missing limbs, people that are disabled, they want to surely play the games, and if they're getting this to enhance their experience and make it so it's up to par with someone that is fully functional, I mean, perfectly fine by me, right? But if you're someone that is using it to cheat, then I mean, you're cheating. You're a cheater. You're a cheater. There's no others. There's no ifs and buts about it, right?
Explain it. Whew, okay, so now let's talk about what the Cronusmax is not. We know what it does, but what is it not capable of? Well, contrary to what you may have heard or have been told or have seen, but the Cronusmax is not a hacking device. The Cronusmax does not actually change the code or the dynamic of the game that you're playing. So for example, the Cronusmax cannot change the recoil variables of your gun, but it can be programmed to pull down on your right thumbstick when you ADS or fire. Same with aim assist. The Cronusmax cannot enable auto aim or hacks or strengthen aim assist mechanics within the game's code, but it can simulate controller movements to create slowdown effects or idle sway control whenever you ADS or fire your weapon. Okay, so now let's talk about a very popular question, and that is...
I feel like that this is gonna be a divisive video. I feel like that there will be a lot of people would say wrong. A lot of people would agree with this. I mean, listen, the explanation he's given, if that's really true, I think it's true, but let's just say, if it's really true, then I see his point, right? It depends on how you use it. But if you buy it, I want to have more aim assist. I want the analog to pull down when I'm firing. I want the recoil control. I mean, damn, son. Like, back in my days, we didn't have shit like that, bro. Gaming, man. Gaming is made so easy, so easy. This is why you have so many sweats. We got skill-based matchmaking, the algorithm trying to like F me in the A, bro. Like, damn, son.
Why are people not getting banned for using Cronusmax? Well, simply put, is that games cannot detect Cronus users because your hardware basically sees the Cronusmax as a third-party controller. And since this device technically doesn't hack the game, the automated systems in place of issuing bans cannot make any kind of reasonable judgment or determination. And even if gameplay was being manually reviewed by a human being, in most cases, it's actually very difficult to determine if someone is a Cronus user unless they're using an obvious jitter mod and they're just sitting there rapid firing their sniper rifle. But mods like aim assist and anti-recoil are pretty much impossible to detect when they're tuned correctly. And the problem is that a lot of the videos on YouTube show off aim assist scripts that are pretty obvious because they're not actually tuned properly for the game they're playing or the settings that they're using within game.
It's like, you know, in reality, how there are chicks that get like butt talks, they get like lip filler, whatever, they got like stuff, you know, I mean, you get that kind of shiza. It's basically like the same thing, right? It's unnatural. It's not new. It's not natural, man. It's not natural.
So lastly, because I know I'm going to get this question in the comments, and that is, what do I think about the Cronusmax, and do I use mods myself? The short answer is no, and the reason, aside from the whole ethical cheating argument, are that regardless of what settings that you use with this thing, whether if it's tournament mode or whatever, there is still a noticeable amount of input delay on the PS4 that creates a lot of inconsistency for someone who is already a pretty good player and doesn't need something like this to try to do well in a video game.
I learned and I grew, but ladies and gentlemen, Swagg has been caught cheating. A lot of people are believing he is cheating. Click on this video on the screen, and I will see you right there. Subscribe.